What's up, guys? I just want to do a video on the topic of diabetes and alcohol. So, being a young man myself, 20 years of age, last year I was in first year in university in Ireland. So, it goes without saying, university, first year, there's a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and just having a good time. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I managed my diabetes while having a couple of drinks with my friends and going out and having a good time and enjoying college life. So this video is about diabetes and alcohol. So a couple of things I like to do, or I make sure I do, before I'm heading out to have a couple of drinks. I'll always eat a big meal before I leave the house. So something with a lot of carbs in it, something to help absorb the alcohol, and I never go drinking on an empty stomach. Also, for that meal, I reduce my insulin that I'm taking maybe by 2 to 3 units, just to leave my blood sugar a little bit higher for when I'm heading out. And before I leave home, I always double check that I have enough strips in my glucometer, that it has working batteries, that I have needles, and I have my insulin. Also, I always carry a little packet of glucose tablets, just pop them in my jeans with me, and I have a rubber diabetes wristband. You can get them on eBay, they're pretty cheap. It just says type 1 diabetes, but I make sure I always have everything I need and I'm prepared for the night ahead. So, I'm in the pub with my friends, or I'm at a house party, or whatever we're doing, and I'm having a couple of drinks. As I said, my blood will be slightly higher, as in the 15 to 20 range, because I took less insulin for the meal I had before I left the house. So, I'll keep checking my blood every 30 to 45 minutes, just to make sure that it hasn't dropped, because what alcohol does is it will give you an initial spike in your blood sugar. So it will rise your blood sugar, and people who haven't drank a lot of alcohol with diabetes will automatically think, oh, I need to correct for this. But this isn't the right thing to do, because alcohol keeps working in your system long after you consume it. And what I mean by this is, say for example, I'm in a nightclub and it's 12 o'clock at night and my blood is 20. If I take no insulin for that blood sugar and at 2 o'clock I leave the nightclub, my blood will have dropped to 10, or it significantly drops. So this is the effect that alcohol has on your blood sugar. So that's why I like to leave my blood sugar just a bit higher all the time, as it's like a safety net, just to make sure I don't crash and suffer a really bad low. Because when you're having a couple of drinks and you're drunk, you're not going to feel a hypo. So that's where it can become very dangerous for somebody with diabetes who's having a couple of drinks to just forget about their diabetes and not check their blood sugar and think, oh, I'm having a good time, it'll be okay, when you can't really afford to do that. Just check your blood sugar every 30 to 45 minutes to make sure that, you know, it's not dropping low. And I also like to drink a lot of water when I'm having a couple of drinks. So if I'm at the bar and I order a vodka and Diet Coke, I'll get a pint of water with that. So at the end of the night or after the nightclub or whatever, I always make sure to get a substantial meal. So, I mean, if I leave the nightclub, I'll go to a takeaway and I'll get a burger or I'll get a chips or something. Just a big meal to make sure that I have enough food in my system so that my blood sugar doesn't drop. With alcohol and diabetes, the main thing is to make sure you don't go low. That you must avoid going low at all costs, because it can be very, very dangerous if this happens. So I've had food, the night is over, and I'm going home. So when I get home, I'll check my blood sugar directly before bed, and if it's not nice and high where I want it to be, we'll say anywhere from 15 up to 20, I will eat something small. And when I get into bed, for example, if I get into bed at 3 a.m., I'll set an alarm for 4. And the reason I do this is because if you have a lot of alcohol, it can have a serious effect on your blood sugar. So people might think, oh, his blood is really high if it's 20, but I've often had it where my blood is 20 when I go to sleep, and when I wake up it's 9 or it's 8. It's dropped that much in just the space of an hour or two. So that's why when you're consuming alcohol, you have to be extra careful that it's not going to make a dramatic crash while you sleep and you're not going to feel it, which could be fatal, which is the biggest problem with diabetes and alcohol. So I set an alarm, and if I wake up at 4 and my blood is like 13 to 15, depending on how much it's dropped, I will either eat something small if I think it's going to keep going low, or I'll just go back to sleep. That's just like another safety mechanism I have in place to make sure that, you know, nothing bad is going to happen. It's just being extra precautious, which I strongly recommend. Also, all my friends know I'm type 1 diabetic, so if anything was to happen to me, which it never has, they would know to inform the medical personnel that I am a type 1 diabetic. And if you're going into a nightclub and there's security staff searching you, don't be afraid to tell them, look, I've got diabetes, you know, that's what my kit is for, all that stuff, because generally they're there to help. They will help you out if anything happens, and it's good for them to know that in case anything happens. So yeah, guys, that's just what I do when I'm drinking. I mean, it's just advice, but I strongly recommend to take it on board. You can never be careful enough when it comes to drinking with diabetes. I just want people to know that you can have a perfectly good time and enjoy yourself and have a couple of drinks as well with diabetes, but you just have to be organized, you have to be prepared, and you just have to be sensible. And if you do those things, then you can have a lot of fun. And I can safely say I've really enjoyed my first year in university, and I had a lot of fun, so my diabetes didn't hold me back at all. So I mean, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you take a lot of useful information from this and it helps you out. And I'm hoping to have a lot more content up and coming, like a website, a Facebook page, and a lot more videos as well. So if you guys have anything that you'd like me to talk about or any questions, just leave them in the comment box below, and I'd appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to my channel.